Hello, I'm Andy and welcome to my video. If you're new here, you are very welcome. If you are a returning viewer, many thanks for your continued support. Okay, so what we're looking at today is, you've probably seen it from the thumbnail, I'm trying to avoid people snapping their air assist elbows on the longer 20, 30 and 40 watt laser diodes. If you've got something similar to this on your laser and it's not a longer, yeah, you might want to watch this as well, because they're all pretty much the same. So as you may know, these are the air assist elbows and I've got them taken off at the moment because I want to show you one way how people are snapping these as per the thumbnail. So if you take the air assist nozzle, and we are pretending at the moment that you're pushing the elbow through this hole and you're going to screw it onto the air assist nozzle inside your laser. But for the first demonstration I'm going to show you on this one because it's easier and I can zoom in. I'm going to do this one. Although this is the blue one, my 20 watt was originally like this. It had this flat washer. So if you insert it and you start doing it up, as soon as that washer touches there, so my washer has touched. If I go another turn, although that is a little bit loose, it's not actually squashing the washer. If I did another turn, you would snap that thread, and then what would happen, as in the thumbnail, some of the thread would stay in that hole and that would be reduced in length. Now, I used to have this type of washer on my original black 20 watt elbow, but when you keep doing maintenance, I found that when you kept pushing it in and out of that washer snapped. So what I use is, if you take a bit of your black air assist tube and just cut off a slither, let me take that off, and I made it there. If I put it in my finger you can just see that I made it very slightly thicker than the original washer. So first of all, it does two things. It's easy to get on, it doesn't catch on the hole when you push it in, and now when you put it in the elbow, it's tighter now than the original washer, but I'm still not really compressing that piece of tube. And if I went one more turn, that would snap the thread again. So you need to gauge the thickness of your slither of tube to get a slight bit of compression on that slither. See, I can do it there. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now the second thing, I've just paused the camera and I'll set up for the next demonstration why people are snapping these elbows. Okay, so I've mounted my laser on my B1 frame, and if you're worried about this grill here, I'll link to the video what that's all about. You get better cooling and it reduces the noise level. So we're going to now install this. So I've got the original washer on. I'm going to push that through there. Going to look, get it lined up. So I'm looking through the front window, and as soon as I see the black washer touch the nozzle, I'm not going to turn it anymore. So there you are. I guarantee you, if I gave that one more turn, that would snap. Now, you've now got to fit the air assist tube. So I'm just going to zoom in as best I can. So when you're plugging in your air assist tube, you have to support the elbow at the bottom, because what you've got to do, you've got to compress the top coupling. So where are we? So you have to compress this top bit and then push the rubber tube in. Now if you just force that in there and try and press it in, right, it will go in, but what you're doing, this is now obviously fixed in your laser and you've got a slight tolerance on this hole. So this tube you've put in there is smaller than that hole. If you were to just now push that tube in and push it down, it will lock in, but what you're doing, you're putting a lot of force on that elbow. This is fixed because it's bolted onto the laser, and what you're going to do, this wants to do that, and that again is going to snap the thread. So what you have to do is support that with one finger at the bottom. Use two fingers now to depress the coupling and just drop your hose in. Make sure it's in, job done. And you're not going to have an unhappy day because you've supported that elbow. So it's most important, support the elbow and don't do this up too tight. If you split your washer, just cut a slither. And again, when I'm doing this, I'm going to support the elbow because I'm going to have to push down. I'm going to support the elbow because I'm going to need to push down on the I'm going to say red then. I'm going to support the elbow again, depress the blue coupling at the top and pull it out. Job done, simple as that. Then you can take that off and then take your nozzle off for regular maintenance. So if you split your washer, just cut a couple of millimeters off that. If it's too thin, just cut another slice and you'll get the slice in the right dimension for your elbow to thread onto your nozzle. Anyway, that's handy. Another quick video. I hope that's going to make you continue to make safe, happy smoke without breaking these nozzles. I don't believe it's a weak point, because you've got to think about how many lasers longer have sold, and there's only a few posts of unhappy people saying, oh, I've snapped it. Now I can only think that what I've shown you in this video is what people have not done, and that's why they snap it. So I've had my 20 watt a while now. The 30 watt is quite new, and I do regular maintenance. So at the moment I haven't snapped this, but if you do snap them, you can buy things like this. So that is for a 6mm inside diameter tube, and that's for a 4mm inside diameter tube, and that just presses on like that. So that's the 4mm. So the way I use them is, if I demonstrate on the 20 watt, you can screw that on. Again, I just used a slither of the air tube to create a washer, and then all you do, you poke that through there, push that on there, job's done. So I think that is actually easier than using the elbow, but they supply this as standard. I will leave the links into these, and I will link thread sizes, so you can probably find these on Amazon. I believe I got mine from AliExpress. The testing I've done on air assist, I've got quite a few videos on air assist on my channel, altering the air assist pumps, changing the tube size, and using these brass spigots rather than the elbow. And if you look at those videos, you'll see what improvement I made. Anyway, that's Andy as ever, wishing you a great afternoon, continue to make that happy safe smoke, and perhaps you'll join me in my next video. Cheers for now.
Thank you for making it to the end of my videos, much appreciated. If you like what I'm doing and I've earned your trust and respect, perhaps you would consider subscribing. If you leave a comment, I will answer them as well. And if you give me a thumbs up, it will put a smile on my face. Perhaps you would like some of the videos popping up now. See you in the next one.